Hello and welcome to East Coast Wagering. We're 2/3 of the way through the Triple Crown, and today what I want to do is I want to look at who I think are the top 5 horses in the 3-year-old male division post-Preakness. Number 5 on my list is Rich Strike. Now I know a lot of people are going to say, how can you have the Derby winner ranked number 5? I actually debated not even including the horse on the list, to be honest. He's done nothing in his past to warrant being any higher than this. He ran 3 previous efforts in 2022 prior to the Derby, and in those efforts he finished 3rd in the Jeff Ruby, 4th in the John Battaglia, and 3rd in the Leonidas Stakes, all at Turfway on synthetic tracks. Now, I do think that this horse can take a big jump forward in the rankings if he proves it in the Belmont, which he very possibly could with the way this field is shaping up to be on the kind of the weak side. Maybe he's turned a corner in the Derby and can be a major player in this division, but I'm still skeptical based on one big closing effort closing into a blazing hot pace. Number 4 on my list is Donegal. He's coming off a 5th place effort in the Derby where he didn't really have much of an excuse in my opinion. I realize he was in the 1 post, but I don't think that really affected him much at all. And the way that the pace set up, it should have set up perfectly for his closing kick, and he just never really menaced in the stretch. He's another horse that could move up with a win in the Belmont. He does have a win over the track. He broke his maiden there in October of 2021. His other efforts this year include a win in the Wood Memorial, which you see here, where he got up in the last couple of strides to defeat Preakness winner early voting. And his other effort was a 3rd place finish in the Holy Bull at Gulfstream back in February, where he finished behind White Abarrio in Simplification. He's kept good company this year, and he consistently runs well, but ultimately he only has 1 win to show for it. So again, I think that his ranking really depends on how he does in the Belmont in 3 weeks. Number 3 on my list is Zanen. He ran a nice 3rd in the Kentucky Derby behind Rich Strike and Epicenter, but like Donegal, it seems like the race should have set up perfectly for him in his closing kick that he showed previously. Ultimately in that race, he just couldn't get by Epicenter in the stretch and couldn't hold off Rich Strike, even though it appeared that he followed Epicenter with him being regarded as his main competition with the intent to catch up to him in the stretch and go by, but he just wasn't able. His prior efforts this year include a win in the Bluegrass, which you see here, over a well-regarded horse, Smile Happy. In that race, he showed an impressive late kick to win convincingly, and it ultimately earned him morning line favoritism for the Derby. His other race was a 3rd behind Epicenter and the Risen Star. It's disappointing and curious we won't be seeing him in the Belmont, as it seems he should fit well here, especially as it looks to have come up a little on the light side this year for a Triple Crown race. It seems like his goal at this point is to point for the Travers in August, so we might not see him before then. I really waffled on number 1 and number 2 on my list, which way to go with them. Ultimately, the way that I decided was I put Epicenter at number 2. Here you see him in his Preakness effort, where he finished 2nd behind early voting. He also ran 2nd in the Kentucky Derby as well in this previous start. He's probably the most consistent 3-year-old to date. He has 3 seconds and 2 first-place finishes this year, with those being the aforementioned Derby and Preakness seconds, plus another in the Lecomte. And his wins are in the Risen Star and Louisiana Derby. I was really tempted to put him on top of this list, but he has failed twice as the favorite to cross the finish line first in both Triple Crown races. It seems he will get some time off, and he will be pointed to the Travers like Zanen. It is a little bit concerning that he hasn't shown any early speed in the last 2 starts, as he was successful early this year, getting into races a lot earlier. I don't believe this is by design, but it may have worked out for him in the Derby, and it definitely did not work out for him in the Preakness. And the number 1 horse on my list is Early Voting. He's the winner of the Preakness, and he basically gets this number 1 spot by default, kind of, because out of the 2 Triple Crown winners, he at least had an impressive resume before going into that classic race. He's earned this based on that Preakness win in his other races this year, where he finished 2nd in the Wood behind Donegal and 1st in the Withers. He skipped the Derby by intent, as his connections thought it was too long for him, which appears to be absolutely been the right call, as his early speed would have done him in early in that blazing pace that we saw in the Kentucky Derby. My take is, though, if there was concern about the distance being 1.25 miles, then how will we fare at the 1.25 mile Travers or the 1.25 mile Breeders' Cup Classic? So if the distance is really an issue for him, then, I'm not sure that he holds on to this number 1 spot. Maybe it was more of a concern about his inexperience, as he only had 3 lifetime races before that start, and maybe that's the reason why they chose to skip the Derby and run in the Preakness instead. So if he can carry the added distance, and with success in those races, I think he's the front runner right now, and if he carries through the rest of this 3-year-old season, I think he could possibly take home the Eclipse Award for top 3-year-old male. I do want to throw out an honorable mention to a horse, Jack Christopher, who won the Pat Day Mile, but I can't in good conscience put him on this list off of 1 start in 2022. Even though it was an impressive win, it was only at a mile, and I want to see more from him going forward. Though I do think this horse is going to show big things, and I think he will be in the top 5 horses, if not at the top by the end of the season. A couple more, like I mentioned before, could move up or down on the list, or even crack the list with a big effort in the Belmont. Rich Strike, if he runs big, I think he moves up. If he runs terrible, I think he drops out. Same thing with Mo Donegal. If he runs big, he moves up. If he doesn't run at all, then he drops out. I think that horses like Ethereal Road or We the People, with a win, now they have to be in the conversation as well. Both of them have wins in their last out, and if they win the Belmont, then they have a Triple Crown win as well. One thing is for certain, this is a wide open division this year. I can't tell at this point who is going to come out on top of this one, and that's exciting. I think that it's going to be great watching this competition going forward between these 3-year-olds. Thanks for watching my video. Please hit the comments section and let me know what you think. Are there any horses that you would have added to this list? Or maybe you think it maybe should come in a different order. Let me know who you think should have the top spot. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. If you like my content and subscribe, hey, it helps me out, it helps me gain exposure, and it also will let you know whenever I post new content. Again, this is Jeremy Pielmeyer, and this is East Coast Wagering. Thanks for watching my video.